Unlock the door, bitch. I'm on my way, and I got chicken strips.
I don't know why they call them chasers. It's not like Chubs can run real fast.
Double vodka with hot brownie chasers.
She just wanted to watch me eat it. Naked.
I can't say that. That's dirty.
Chasers will do anything to get into your pants. I love them.
Stop it! Stop!
Oh,
God. Chubs Gone Wild.
Hey there, welcome to Chubs Gone Wild, episode 591, recorded on Monday, May 19th, 2025. And that is the wrong thing to enlarge. Oh, I'm making it bigger. Oh, okay, there we go. It is 70 degrees and partly cloudy in Chubland. Welcome to only 165 days until Halloween. 100 or 220 until Christmas. I cannot read today. And it's also only 1 week until Memorial Day. Now tell me, do you know the difference between Memorial Day and Veterans Day?
Yeah, they're not even in the same month.
Right. Yeah.
Memorial Day is talking about dead people.
Uh-huh.
Veterans Day is talking about all veterans.
Right. Exactly. And there are some people that will go the fuck off on you if you don't know the difference. Anyway,
Wait, I'm sorry. Memorial Day is when you have a barbecue and a swim party celebrating the start of summer.
yes. And then the other one is when you're getting ready to do holidays and have screens that
It's the 3-day weekend before you graduate high school.
yes.
It's 3 weeks before Father's Day and 3 weeks after Mother's Day. That's Memorial Day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
Well, and if you're actually working, if you don't work for the governments, any of the governments, state or federal, Memorial Day is the first holiday you get after Christmas.
Right.
First day off, free day off, holiday off, after Christmas, after actually New Year's, the New Year's, Christmas holiday, because you hit January 2nd and you don't see another day off until Memorial Day. Now, if you're with the state, you see a holiday. I think it's Cesar Chavez is one of the days. You've got
Yes.
Martin Luther King. You've got President's Day.
Yeah.
You've got Good Friday. You've got everything. And then
Friday, really?
I think so.
Huh.
Or because the thing was they were going to pay you for Easter, but Easter's on a Sunday.
Right.
So then they always used to do Good Friday. Or actually, when we were in school, we got the whole week off, if you remember.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember that. And they called it spring break.
No, it was Easter holiday, then it was spring break.
Really?
Yeah.
I always remember just spring break, but that doesn't mean jack
remember,
shit.
spring break doesn't always fall on Easter. A lot of the colleges, it doesn't fall on the same
Right.
time.
That's what I like realize now, but back then I always maybe I just went to a weird school. That could be. But yes, there was always that 3 days for Thanksgiving and then like 2 weeks for Christmas and New Year.
No, 4 days for Thanksgiving: Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Oh, well,
Because
technically,
we always got the Friday
I never
off as
count
well.
the weekend.
Okay, but we never got Wednesday off. That was the day they served turkey.
Well, that
They
was
served turkey and
oh,
dressing
gosh,
and mashed
no, thank
potatoes
you.
at school the
No.
day before Thanksgiving. I could never figure out why they did Thanksgiving dinner on Wednesday.
Because you're just going to have it the next day.
Well, and the terrible part was sometimes it was better at school.
That's true. I think the schools that I went to, we mostly got like a half day on a Wednesday because I think the teachers wanted to get the hell out of there and do their shopping.
Well, I think a lot of people since I was in school, let's say grade school at least, um, a lot they do a lot more half days
Hmm.
because I
Oh
know that
yeah.
the high school over here by Clinton and I,
Hmm.
they are off half days all the time. Fridays, they every Friday they're off at noon,
Wow.
which
Our-
sucks if you're trying to go to KFC or any of the places at
Yeah.
lunchtime because the kids all hit that on their way home because they didn't have lunch at school.
Right. No, no, just no. We didn't have hardly any half days. And I've also noticed that some of the ones today, because some, my friend Kendall, her child has like field trips, a lot of field trips. They had
Are,
like two this week.
are they? Is the kid in this
No, no,
not a special? No, I'm talking.
no, no, just regular.
Okay,
Yeah.
because I remember when I was in school, the only kids that got to go out on special things all the time were the gifted kids.
Right. Yeah. Oh man, I remember when I was a youngin in the gifted and talented program, we always got to go on different weird little things. Or we got to have that one afternoon away from regular classes and we go sit in the field and do little projects and stuff like that. I don't
Oh,
understand.
yeah. Well, our gifted program, which I was 2 points away from being in, by the way.
Yeah.
Um, they would go to San Francisco and see plays all the time. They'd go into Sacramento and see the matinees of things all the time.
We didn't get
Free.
that.
It was all free.
Yeah, we did go to a science place. There is some place in Sacramento, I think it was, because of course, when I mean, we were like in Auburn or Folsom and places like that. So Sacramento was the city for us. Although I do remember going to San Francisco uh, for one field trip, and so the movie Trick was written by Jason Schaefer. His mother was the one that was like the person supervising me, right? And we're in a freaking BART station and the crowd is going crazy. I get separated from her. She freaks out. When she finds me, she slaps me, not in the face. She like slapped my hand really hard and yelled at me. And I'm like, lady, you're the one in hello. Rude. So a little bit of movie lore there. All right. What's today's affirmation? Well, take a moment, take a deep breath, leave the traumas of the past behind. Life supports me in every way possible. I am safe, protected, and very loved. All is truly well in my world. It's a lovely affirmation.
I just got notified that I'm going to have like something, I'm going to have legal problems because I missed a toll. Uh,
Yeah.
and the weird thing is that they're saying I missed a toll. And I've driven my car once since I've been
Uh-huh.
back from Istanbul, so I'm not really sure when all this happened.
Yeah, I get that too. And I'm like, I don't even drive and I forgot to pay tolls on not driving.
I
Yeah.
know it's weird because up around here we don't have any toll
Right.
places. You get those on the way down to Los Angeles and stuff like that, but
Yeah.
not here.
That's
So no, thank you.
yeah, we get the notifications from like the Meta stuff where our Instagram has violated some toss thing or something and they're gonna close our account and we're just like I'm like,
Close it.
you can't even spell. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah. The
All right.
grammar, your grammar is horrible.
Yeah. Patreon offers folks a way to support creators and receive rewards not open to the general public, like special podcast videos, books, and more. And we want to thank our current patrons. Clint, Nephi, Nick, DJ Stasage from the Universe, Eric, Sean, Charles, Phoenix Dave, Brothers Donatus, Kingsley, Kathy Bacon, and Moose P. And please welcome our newest patron, Scott. Please visit
Yay!
patreon.com/Matt Burlingame to find out how you can support the work that we do for as little as $1 a month. Welcome, Scott. It's good to have you aboard. All right. Well, let's talk a little history, shall we? Today, Marilyn Monroe sings the breathy Happy Birthday to John F. Kennedy during his birthday gala. Her iconic sequin dress from the performance room becomes the priciest dress ever sold at auction in 2016, fetching $4.8 million. On May 19th, 1943, British Prime Minister Winston Churchill and U.S. President Franklin Roosevelt plot the cross-channel landing that would become D-Day, May 1st to May 1st. This is May 19th. People edit 1944. Oh, never mind. It was planned for then, but the date will prove a bit premature as bad weather becomes a factor. So,
I
anyway.
thought D-Day was June 6th,
Yeah, well,
wasn't it?
that's probably it was delayed because of
Uh,
the weather.
yeah, it's also confusing.
Yeah, especially this site, which sometimes I don't know, seems a little bit iffy. But
Does it have the um Trumpian yeah, this is the date.
yeah,
Yeah.
ugh. Let's see. It's time to see if we've celebrated any holidays today. It is accounting day. Have you done any accounting?
Um sure.
Boys Club Day. Nope. Celebrate your elected officials. No. May Ray Day.
Don't know what that is.
Neither do I. National Asian and Pacific Islander HIV/AIDS Awareness Day. That is an important one. Um, National Devil's Food Cake Day. I would like to. National Hepatitis Testing Day. Oh, that's a big one. Um, let's see. World Family Doctor Day. Mm-mm. And World IBD Day. I don't know what that is. International Birthday Day. No, can't be that. Okay, moving on. I really want some cake now.
I,
Cake.
I I used to make a really good devil's food cake.
Yeah, from the box or just scratch?
From the box, but you know, it was always so good. I'd have three tiers, and it was I think I wanted. I'm not sure. I don't think it was cream cheese frosting. It must have been just butter. Yeah, just buttercream. But it
Oh,
was it was really good, and I used to make it all the time. And then nobody wants to eat cake anymore.
ugh. Well, tell me, were these tears from a virgin? Moving on. Today's birthdays. Al Parker. Yeah. Happy birthday to her. Also to former podcaster from Tranny Rec Radio, Ms. Rebecca Nay. And also happy birthday to Roger Jonathan Sheldon. Sheldon is the one who gave us the oh shit the big Chub event in like November, the one we used to support.
Tidal wave.
No, no, I don't know, but go look it up. I don't know. Ivy Burton, happy birthday, Ivy. Oh. 37 years old. Oh my goodness. We have, I was just thinking about him the other day, our Hedwig, Kevin Leonard. Yeah. We have Remo. He's okay. Tim, Mike, Margaret, Rob, Gary, author Mike Lopez. We have the Naughty Nanny, Wendy Cameron. We have Mercury Rising, and of course, Raymond. Happy birthday, Alia. You know, it's very disconcerting when you're reading something and you have to skip over a number of them because you're like, oh, no, he passed. Oh, no, she passed. Oh, no, they're no longer with the, oh, yeah, actually. They're gone too. Okay, well, that was depressing.
Well, that was all
That,
uppity.
that was just messed up. But you know who's with us, alive and kicking and doing wonderfully? Going to go see Rick Springfield in concert, and got his ticket for just $30. Isn't that a steal? It's Mr. Nephi. Happy birthday, Nephi. Hope he has a wonderful time. All right, we have some feedback. And starting with Sean, who says, I always get low blood pressure readings at home for a couple of weeks before seeing my doctor, in case the readings at the office are high. Okay. Oh, logs them. So that's good. That's a good idea, actually. Also it's stupid how much blood pressure can change so dramatically, so quickly. I agree. I've enjoyed all just soon as some people come on the TV or the radio, and suddenly I'm pissed. All right. I've enjoyed the current season of Andor and will watch the finale episodes later today. It's a different approach to telling stories within Star Wars, that's for sure. We'll talk more about that in our weeks. Mr. Moose says, y'all mentioned that I get a lot of Asian food with the chicken stock base sauce. I prefer the brown sauce because it has more flavor, but I often substitute the chicken stock sauce because I think it might be healthier. The brown sauce has a lot of sodium from beef stock, oyster sauce, soy sauce. Also, they add some sugar to the sauce to cover up the salt. That's true. Every time I eat the brown sauce, I crave water and retain water for a couple days. I don't retain as much water with the light sauce. Y'all have a great week. Thank you, Mr. Moose. You know, I was watching, there's this woman from the Midwest who does these cooking videos on Facebook and Instagram, and it's called Aggressive. She's the aggressive cook, and she does, you know, like aggressive spaghetti meatballs or and stuff like that. Anyway, she makes stuff and she adds a ton of the like oyster sauce and soy sauce and garlic and onions, just like all of the sauces and the browns and the, oh my goodness. I By the time it's done, I'm just like, oh my God, I would be swollen with a lake inside of me by the time I'd be done eating her food. Not that I like her and I like her cooking, but I just couldn't eat all that like that regularly. Comments?
I don't even know who you're talking about. So why are you asking me?
On Moose's letter.
Oh, on Moose's letter. The Yeah, I see where the chicken stock would be lighter, simply because every time you add a little bit of soy sauce, you're adding
Mm,
sugar, salt. It's just salt. And it was interesting. I saw there's a documentary out there on General Chow's chicken
mm,
and General Ty's chicken, whoever's chicken it is. It used to be called just General Chicken, and then they had to throw in his name, and
right.
but what's interesting is that they add sugar to the sauce, and it's not because it brings down the salt, but because Americans love sweet things, even if it's even if it's just a little minor sweetness,
Mm,
we crave it as a people, and I get that. It's true, but sad.
yeah,
Um,
but I
uh,
do.
yeah, but and I make my own stock, so I don't have to worry about too much salt being added in either. So that's always helpful.
Right. All right. Well, it's time for some chub hugs. And I want to send some chub hugs out to Scott, our newest patron. And actually, on Facebook, there's been a number of people posting about family members being sick or passing and stuff lately. And it was just a lot. So I just want to send a lot of love out to everybody that needs it.
Well, I'm going to send mine out to the um, last president who got some bad news about
Oh,
prostate
yeah.
cancer, and it just seems odd that it came out this at this time, because they they've got to be poking and prodding these guys all the time.
Well, yeah, they have to have regular physicals and
And when I say regular, I don't think it's yearly. And
no.
this
Mm-mm.
just it sounds odd. I mean, I'm not trying to build up a conspiracy theory about this, but it
No.
just seems odd that a very aggressive form of prostate cancer shows up this quickly after he's been out of office. So
Right.
it's
Well,
JD Vance. Did JD Vance get near him? Because
oh
he's a
God.
nightmare. So no,
Never know.
I hope
Yeah.
he has a full recovery.
Yeah, this is was I think a me metastatic.
I
I
know
can
what you're
write
talking
it,
about.
but yeah, I can write it, but I can't say it at the moment. Anyway, like high level. So I don't know. Hopefully things go well, but
Oh, and you know what I found in my laundry room? Two flat pencils.
ooh, oh, that's right.
And of course, they're flat because that way they don't roll off the table.
That's what, yeah, yeah. No,
And basic,
actually,
and they also hold down the being flat. They'll hold down the like if you got a blueprint, they'll
uh-huh.
hold down the edges as well. And I get that, but
Yeah,
still, I mean, it must be funky writing with them.
yeah. Well, thank you to Mr. Michael Sage who told us why they were flat. So, hmm. Okay, in the news, Texas lawmakers voted Thursday to repeal the state's longstanding ban on gay sex, sending legislation to do so to the state Senate in a historic and bipartisan vote. Wow.
Yeah, they're
Meanwhile,
also
go ahead.
they're also trying to get rid of porn for people under the age of 18.
Which is,
Good luck on that.
well, well, and it's like I don't think most people are going to argue that that's a bad thing, but there's just no way to do it without getting rid of it, period, and that's not going to fly. So,
Well, and they'll start regulating what kind of porn you can have.
uh-huh. Yep, all
So,
straight porn. I'm sorry, but you go on the straight porn site and the front page within the first couple videos is all going to be family oriented weirdness.
ew, ew.
Yeah. All right. Back in the news, Secretary of Homeland Security, Christie, the cosplaying puppy killer gnome, has refused to discuss the fate of the gay hairdresser with no criminal record who was deported to a brutal mega prison in El Salvador under the U.S. government's crackdown on alleged Venezuelan gang members. We need to keep that visible, and I'm talking about the queer community, and I'm seeing more people step up and talk about it. So,
Right.
all right. Austria wins Eurovision with JJ's operatic club jam Wasted Love. Wasted Love was awarded 436 points by a combination of votes from viewers and juries of music professionals from each participating country. and
Did
here
you see?
thought
Did you
it was
see
going
the?
to Sweden.
Did you
What?
see the one from Switzerland where they basically just talked about what products you can buy in Switzerland? Or you what products come from Switzerland? Like processed cheese. Did you know they invented processed cheese?
No.
Yeah, and then of course, there's Swiss chocolates, but it was a list of at one point in the song. I didn't hear the whole thing, but I saw it. It was a list of it's like you know us listing off. Well, we don't have anything that we really invented, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. There was two songs that I guess were basically just mostly about porn, and there was one that was like in German translates to "I'm coming." So
Well, one I'm not sure where. I know that she was defending it and she was speaking English, but basically it was they used you're being you got it's got to be cunt, it's got to be cunt,
uh,
and which it's funny because they said I remember I was watching some comedian and he said the thing is that Ellen moved to England to where now when they say she's cunt that's a compliment so uh, but yeah,
yeah, I
so
know
different.
they're not as offended by that word as most people over here are. Okay, now it's time to talk about some celebrity deaths.
First up, we had Texas-born actor Joe Don Baker, who best known, I mean, in the 70s and 80s for the Walking Tall series.
Hmm.
But he was also villain in James Bond, but for both Tomorrow Never Dies and GoldenEye. He died at 89 years old. He was I mean, very big and popular. He really was.
Yeah.
Another one, another celebrity that we had that passed away this last week was Robert Bent, winning the Academy Award for Best Director and Writer for Kramer versus Kramer. He was 92.
Hmm.
I'll tell you, the scene at the end where Meryl Streep is talking to um, Dustin Hoffman, and she said, I was at home and I was looking at the clouds that I painted over his bed because we had those at the house because I wanted to make him feel like he was at home.
Hmm.
And then when she saw that, she realized that he was at home with the father, with Dustin Hoffman, and she wasn't going to take him.
Yeah.
Niagara Falls, I swear.
Mm.
Whenever because we played at my theater and it was like terms of endearment, people just came out bawling
Mm.
afterwards. It was such a good movie.
Did you catch in Matlock the Kramer versus Kramer joke?
It's been I
She the the boss lady said something like she was being all snappy. She's like blah 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 blah, and it's going to be just like the final scene in Kramer versus Kramer, or something like that.
yeah,
And then one of the assistants goes, "Was that one of your cases before you were here, or something?" She didn't recognize it.
I know. Well, and it's now becoming a joke when you know um in a show where your main character goes, "Oh, don't make me Scarlett O'Hara, you," and they're like, "Who's is that? One of your clients?"
Yeah.
And I mean, you think things like Gone with the Wind and The Wizard of Oz will always be remembered, but there's a lot of people that have never seen either of them. So
Something well off topic, but I've been watching the older baking championships with Carla. And when something was really good in the beginning ones, she used to say something like, "This makes me want to slap your mama." And that's a very Southern phrase, and a lot of people don't get it. And I noticed that she stopped saying that.
yeah, yeah, that's there's a lot of famous old sayings that just can't be said.
Uh-uh.
Okay, finally, we have Charles Strauss, American composer and lyricist, um, of many Broadway musicals, and he also did film as well, but basically known for um, Annie. He wrote the music and lyrics for Annie, Bye Bye Birdie and Applause. A lot of people don't remember Applause, but that was the All About Eve musical. And actually it played here, and it was popular in Music Circus. They
Hmm.
played that a few times here. It's a really good show. And I think we saw it with Lauren Bacall. I mean, it was like, yeah, I
Wow.
know. It was weird. Um, and he won 3 Tony Awards. And yeah, I mean, and of course, if you look at the music to Annie, it's like one hit after another.
Yeah,
Hard Knock
absolutely.
Life and Little Girls and The Sun Will Come Out Tomorrow
Yeah.
and You're Never Fully Dressed Without a Smile. There are so many big songs in that show. It's those are the kind of shows I look at and I go, that's incredible. Like a chorus line, just one hit after another. It's
Yeah.
funny because they put What I Did for Love into a chorus line because they wanted to make sure that there was a song that you'd be singing at the end as you're walking out.
Right.
But there were all so many of the other songs just became standards on their own. It's so interesting. But 96 years old, and he did a lot for Broadway. He been around quite a few years. And it's so funny because I looked through his list of how many shows he did. So many shows on Broadway, because you got to remember they're not all hits,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
and that doesn't mean that they're not good. That just means that they didn't click with an audience, and that's which is
Yeah.
sad, so sad, because you put in that kind of effort. When we write a play,
Yeah.
it takes months and months to put together a play, sometimes years to get a script ready, and then if an audience hates it, it's just terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, or they don't hate it, they don't get it.
Yeah. It's just a connect. Like Queens Are Wild. Just it was a nice little play, but it just didn't really connect. Whereas something like Trolling or Paperclip Messiah did really well.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you about my week.
Yes, please.
Okay, I just want to heads up that Big Mouth, the final season, comes out this Friday, the 23rd,
Hmm.
which is sad, but I'm excited. Um, Twin Paranormal, I've been talking about there on YouTube. What they've done differently is they are now making, instead of, because these guys for the last like 4 or 5 years have been bringing out an hour to an hour and a half long episode a week,
Wow.
every week. I mean, I've seen them take a few weeks off here and there, but it's literally been every week. And just the recording time. Granted, it's over usually a 24-hour time period that they're filming, but then they got to come back and edit it, and then they got to hit another place. I just
Yeah.
So now that what they're doing is they're doing extra long. They're staying, instead of just 24 hours, they're usually staying 48 hours at a location, and then it's probably like once a month they're going to bring out a 2 to 2.5 hour long, what they're calling movie. So, and good for them.
Oh.
It's just, I mean, I just can't even imagine how.
Mm-mm.
No, I mean, I've worked a theater where every week
We were doing
for years and
shotgun.
years
Yeah.
there was a new play coming in, or we had a week off before the next new play came by, and
Yeah.
it's just horrible, strenuous. Tracker was picked up for third season.
Yay.
It was funny. On We still haven't heard anything about um, Dr. Odyssey over on Fox. This
Oh
is
yeah.
the Love Boat meets Dallas,
Yeah.
basically. And last night, John Oliver said that he just can't believe we have not been renewed yet. How you can have a show like Dr. Odyssey, and he loves it, and he just went on and on about it. It was very funny. The
Nice.
studio with Seth Rogen was also picked up for another season. We're almost at the end of spring baking. I think we've got maybe an episode left. Maybe tonight's episode is the finale. Um, American Idol, we had top three, but last night they finished up, and we have a new American Idol, and I don't know what his name is because I didn't get to watch it. see, this is when Hulu needs to have live if it's a finale like that, because now I'm not going to watch it because I already know who won.
Right. Yeah.
Because it's blopped out all over um, Facebook and X and wherever. So
Yeah.
that's a problem. Let's see. Vinny went home on this week's Top Chef. I think we're at the top six, so we probably have maybe one or two episodes left there. Survivor. My favorite got kicked out this week on Survivor, sent to the jury. I can't
Oh,
remember his name. I keep calling him Syed because that's the name of the character, the Middle Eastern character from Lost,
yeah.
and the name is really close to that,
Okay.
and so I can never remember his name, but he was my favorite. Um, and he got out, and it was really sad because he really wanted to win, or at least he really wanted to get to um the finals, and they basically fucked him over with lies and deceit. And I hate that.
Hmm.
I like that when they get caught, lying, and it becomes kind of a false win for me when it's sneaky shit.
Yeah.
So let's see. Poker Face over on Peacock. If you're not watching Poker Face, you're missing out. It's just such a good show. It's so clever. It's kind of like Columbo in a sense, where it starts out where we see the killing, we see somebody getting murdered, and then what happens is then we go back, and we're back before the murder happens, and that's where the main character comes in, and she can tell when you're lying. So so she starts smelling a lie, and then all of a sudden the person's dead or they've disappeared, and she knows shit's going on. And it's funny, but it's very clever writing. Really enjoyed it. It's basically by the guy who does Knives Out. So
Oh,
nice murder mystery every week. But in this case, we know who the killer is. She's just got to figure out a way of exposing the killer. So good stuff. We finished Lost. Hallelujah. It's 6 seasons and hundreds of episodes. Then the ending just gets so confusing, and they kind of tied up that, oh, they were all dead at the end, and they've all been dead,
yeah.
and then okay, then they're all dead, and then the last shot is of the main character Jack laying back in the bamboo field where he found himself after after the plane crashed.
Mm.
So what, are we in a time loop? um
Purgatory.
is it hell, is it heaven, is it a different dimension?
Yeah.
Whatever, just stop fucking with me and I don't have to watch it anymore. Okay.
Yeah.
This week I've decided not to continue Andor.
Oh,
I know, we sat there, we watched a few episodes, and it's like
yeah.
we really had to watch the recap just to figure out what we didn't pay attention to last week.
Yeah.
So
I know. I'll talk more about it
okay,
in my
that's fine.
week. Yeah.
Let's see. Smash. I got back to Smash. I stopped watching Smash because I had heard I was watching it before we went to New York, so I would be updated
Mhm.
on the show because I was going to see Smash on Broadway. And then what happened was I found out that they completely changed the show, what the show was. I mean, they had most of the main characters. It was basically all the same music, but they had to say, how do you take 26 episodes and make them into 2.5 hours? So they had to do what they had to do. But now I'm watching Smash again, and Kyle, the guy who is writing the book for Hit List, actually gets hit by a taxi while he's wandering at night, and he's killed. And I forgot all about that. So yesterday, the past couple days, I have been, and when I say menopausal, I'm not trying to be mean
Yeah.
towards women
Right.
who are menopausal, because I've been menopausal for quite a few years.
嗯 Mm.
But I cried at everything the past couple days. I mean, I was watching some Barry Manilow videos,
Hmm.
crying during those. I watched Dionne Warwick singing Alfie, bawled through it. And it's just, I've just been highly emotional, and I kind of hate it. I mean, I don't hate it, but I kind of hate it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean. Thank
Yeah,
goodness we don't have Hallmark commercials in our face anymore,
that's right. Because
or dog food commercials.
yeah, we're streaming, so we don't have to. Yeah, dog food. I
Hmm.
still cry when the guy throws the bitch out of the car because she's not the car, out of the house, when she goes, "You've got dog food in the refrigerator."
Oh, I don't know that
And
one. Thank
oh
you.
yeah, she goes, "It's the first date, and he's making her dinner," and she goes, "Oh, what's this?" And he goes, "Oh, that's my that's the whatever the dogs. That's the
Uh-huh.
basically,
That's
Annie's
Sophie's
food."
choice. Yeah.
Right. And she goes, "I know, but it's dog food and it's in the refrigerator." And
Yeah.
then
No,
next
she's a
thing
dog.
he's feeding the dog and the girls out the front door. And
Good.
and those, I know that makes me cry too. It's stupid.
Yeah.
But and anyway, who doesn't put their dog food in the refrigerator? If you've got a can of dog food and you only use half of it, you have to refrigerate it.
Well, duh. And a lot of these new, if you do the subscribe and order stuff, some of that's like fresh stuff. You have to
Well, that's
refrigerate
what the
it.
commercial is.
Yeah.
It's for the fresh stuff. And it's like, I mean, I remember my mom, we had dogs and cats, and we got lids to put on
Uh-huh.
the can, so because you're not going to
Yeah.
leave it out because it's going to spoil. It goes in the refrigerator, and it just makes me hate people who don't like animals. So
Yeah. No,
um
she'd be out the door in my book too.
yeah, speaking of that, I watched Trey Crowder, his
Mm.
Trash Daddy video, which is on YouTube. Actually, all his long form comedies are on YouTube. The man makes me laugh. You know,
Yeah.
yeah, he was even talking about dogs because he's a cat person. He says he
Mhm.
doesn't dislike dogs; he just likes cats more, which is weird because cats. Uh, I always, I mean, I love the dog because I get the immediate gratification and the
Uh-huh.
love, and the cat usually is like a roommate.
Yeah.
So, but he was super funny. We were actually thinking about seeing him in July in San Diego, but the week that we would be going to San Diego would be the week after he plays. Which just sucks.
Oh,
But
yeah.
anybody that gets a chance to see him, I've seen him live, and he's truly just so good. Um, we Last of Us last night. Watched the new episode of Last of Us. That's that HBO series with,
Hmm.
yeah. It's like another Who Cares episode. That, oh, we're gonna go back and look at the relationship between Pedro Pascal and the girl over the last 6 years, even though he's dead now. You
Oh,
know,
geez.
uh, yeah, and it's like, okay, what, and it's not. It's kind of like the one with the gay couple. It's a nice episode, but it's not doing anything to move the storyline for me at all. It really
Yeah.
doesn't.
Yeah.
And I mean, maybe somebody's listening, going, "Oh, well, you're not getting it," or something. And maybe that's true, but it doesn't. Sean wants to watch it, so, and he's not paying attention to it either. So I
Hmm.
don't know. We'll figure it out. There's a new show on Apple TV right now called Murderbot with
Oh, yeah.
Scarsdale,
Skarsgård. Yeah.
Skarsgård, the really cute one. It's Alexander
Yes.
Skarsgård, and it's funny because at one point he plays a robot who has overridden his. He can't interfere, the you can't harm anybody, you can't interfere, you can't think on your own. Well, he's figured out how to get past that guard in his programming. And so the whole time he's like, oh, I can't deal with these people, maybe I just want to kill them all. um
Uh-huh.
and he's like, oh no, but what would that do me? I wouldn't be able to get any more cell service, so if I did, so I better not do that. So he's got a lot of internal thinking that he does, but at one point he's totally naked,
Uh-huh.
but he's looks like a Ken doll.
Yeah.
They didn't give him
I
any
don't care.
genitalia,
I'll
but
strap one on.
he's beautiful anyway.
He
Um,
is.
yeah, you could always strap something on if that was a
Yeah.
problem.
There
And
was
then
a picture of him and Pedro Pascal kissing.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
they've
That's
been showing that a
so cute.
lot.
Yeah. I don't know about Pedro, and I don't care. I like him no matter what.
Oh, I know. He seems like he's like such a wonderful person to be around too.
Yeah.
That he would just be up and happy and
Hmm.
yeah. And finally, on okay, it's on Max, but now Max is going back to HBO Max,
Right.
which is, and if you remember, I don't, well, maybe you don't remember, but when they switched to Max, I'm like, why in the hell are you leaving the brand of HBO,
Right.
which, in 1980, I had to have HBO,
Yeah.
even though we didn't have cable in Sacramento at that time.
Yep.
I actually got satellite before it was popular. In Citrus Heights, I had a satellite dish so I could get the cable, or I could get HBO.
Mm.
And then they're getting rid of HBO for Max, and Max to me was just porn at night. Remember that was
Yeah. I
well,
remember my
it was a
mom used to
soft.
sit up and watch those shows. They were so schlocky.
Your mother would watch the Cinemax.
Oh, well, no, it was like movies, but they always had those softcore scenes in it.
Yeah, well, that was the
So
thing.
she was up at night a lot and she'd watch all those.
Girl, oh my,
But
Carol,
she's
who
human.
I
Like, what
know,
do you
I
think?
know.
She just what?
It's no, she's mom. She's not human.
Trust
So
me,
anyway,
I know,
anyway,
but yeah.
I just anyway. So on HBO Max now they just added The Brutalist, which was one of the Best Picture nominees this year,
Oh.
and all it's 4 hours worth, which I won't be watching.
Hmm.
But it's there for those of you who do want to spend a day watching what sounds like a very sad and depressing movie.
Oh, no,
Okay,
thank you.
yeah, and that is and other than my hair is coming in nicely. I'm
Yeah.
finally to the point of where I got, because what happened was I I didn't sleep on, I can't sleep on my back. Okay.
Hmm.
You're supposed to sleep on your back because when you do the bleeding and the oozing basically after they do the treatment, um sucks into um the bandages and the gauze that they put on the first night,
Yeah.
and then when they take that off you don't have a lot of blood left over because it's all sucked in. Well, I
Hmm.
slept on my belly, so I didn't have that pressing against the area to suck up the blood. I know this
Right.
sounds terrible. It didn't hurt. It didn't hurt.
Hmm.
Just let everyone know that part didn't hurt at all. It just left me with a lot of scabbing
Hmm.
on the harvested area, which is the back and the sides.
Hmm.
So I finally got rid of most of that scabbing, and it's still. I mean that actually hurt more. It feels kind of like a mild sunburn now
Huh.
to the touch, but otherwise the top portion is coming in the area that they planted, and it's even though it's coming in slowly, because what happens is they come in for a while, they get to a certain length, they fall out
Hmm.
just like regular hair does, and then when it comes up the next time it's permanent. Well, it's permanent. You'll have hair that it'll fall out occasionally because hair recycles
Yeah.
constantly. And but it's I'm perfectly happy with it now. Last week not as happy. This week more happy.
Good.
Yeah. So I would suggest it, and if anybody wants information on it, I can give you information, and I can point you into YouTube videos that might help out a lot too.
Hmm.
But the whole thing was quick and easy. And the only thing I'd do different is I would travel after, instead of 2 days later, I would have traveled 5 days later. That
Hmm.
would be my only difference. But so, and that's where we're at.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, did you get a chance to watch RuPaul's Drag Race All Stars?
I did. And it was well, this was the third episode, which meant that it was they because they're doing brackets,
Hmm.
and so the first six queens had a 3 episode bracket, and at the end of this bracket, the one we just watched, 3 of them go on to the semifinals.
Hmm.
And how did you feel about who went to the semifinals?
I didn't care for the top person.
God, I
I
don't know.
know you like them, but I just
I
no.
know, but they were the best ones this week.
I I they were people in drag. Or I mean they were no, hold on. Let me rephrase that. They were people in a costume. It wasn't drag, it was a costume.
They were all costumes then.
I also I don't know. I was very happy with who went in number two slot. And number three was fine. I didn't care one way or the other with that one. But no, I don't care much for the top slot person.
Irene the alien.
Okay,
Um,
we want to say names.
well, that why
In
not?
case
No one's.
okay, I don't know how long
Oh,
it's been out. So
well, it's been out since Friday, so
okay, so then there's been enough days
it should
to
have
yeah.
watched it
Okay,
because you can't go on you can't go on
that's
X
true.
or
Yeah.
anything else without reading it. I mean, American Idol was last night, and I found out this morning before I
Ugh,
could watch the episode today.
yeah.
But that's the
That
curse of
happened to me with Matlock.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm very happy that Bosco got in there.
Now, do you know anybody that went to see her last night at Faces?
No, I haven't. I'll probably see some posts on Facebook at some point, but no, I haven't seen any yet. Um, but I was really surprised how augmented, like almost everybody in this cast, this set so far, these six have had like they're transsexual, which is totally fine. And that, but they've all had so much body augmentation or like
Well,
surgeries
yeah,
or and I mean even the big girl, she
Deja went and got surgery somewhere, weight loss surgery,
yeah,
had problems with it.
right.
Obviously, Phoenix had some problems. Well, overindulged. I don't know if it was any problems, but the
Yeah.
cheeks and the lips are out, and that is not like filler or anything. That looks permanent.
It does. It does. So I don't know, but I was just kind of surprised. And then I thought, okay, well, then the next group is probably going to be more like your traditional, just guys who are doing drag. And
Right.
they look to have quite a few people that have had,
Oh yeah.
surgeries and augmentation and stuff too. And I'm not knocking it. If you're a good drag queen on this show, you're a damn good drag queen, and I support you. But it just was a little surprising because I'm used to seeing them in their seasons where they weren't, they're all just 20-year-old guys who dress up like 40-year-old women.
Well, and
Yeah,
Bosco is gorgeous.
she is, right?
Yeah, and
Uh,
and transgender. You had Irene is not.
no,
Um,
she's
and
fine, but no.
but Asia obviously has had stuff done.
Yeah.
Uh, but you know what's interesting about Asia is how she's constantly um, showing her gut. Have you noticed
Uh-huh.
that? And
Yeah.
it's not a bad thing. It's just different.
Right.
Just the pants. It looks like she ate too much at lunch, and the pants are open and exposing the
Oh
belly.
man. Yeah.
But yeah, what I do like about this, the way they're doing it, and I've been liking the way Rue has been working the All Stars, is that they have enough screen time. Because think about it, if you are a queen, like let's say Bosco,
Hmm.
who was on a few years ago,
Right.
you got to get back into. I'm sorry, but you got to get in the drag race again just to pump up your career. All of a sudden,
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's great. You spend a couple weeks in Los Angeles, and it revs your career up for another 5, 6 years.
Yeah. And it really got it was like I felt like we really got a chance to know each one of them
Yeah,
this time rather than try to juggle, okay, who's who out of 12 people. So,
right. And well, and if you think about it, you usually don't really start watching and knowing the people until about halfway through, which is usually
uh-huh.
around the time that they have 6 to 8 girls. So
Mm.
yeah, I think it's really good, and I'm really happy with what I've seen so far. I'm excited to see the next group. You're gonna love Mistress because she's mean, but she's also lost a lot of weight. She was a big girl, and now she's lost quite a bit of weight.
Hmm.
And George's has obviously had augmentation done.
Yeah.
So well,
Yeah.
we'll see a lot more next week when we get the next episode.
Right. Well, I'm looking forward to it. I'm enjoying it so far. Yeah. Okay, so all right, so starting with Andor, I finished the season. Um
Oh, it's all over.
yeah, they were dropping 3 episodes a week.
Okay.
So it is done. And it leads right up into the movie Rogue One. Um so I understand your frustration with those first couple episodes. Mine was the same too. I was kind of like, do I really want to keep watching this? Because it's just kind of boring. And then, like, they would do that thing where, like, one episode would be, like, really good and you're interested in it. The next one would be kind of sluggish again. And then it hit about episode 5 or 6. And then each one, you finally started piecing everything together, the plot, the people, the things that were going on. The action was really good. And I was like, wow, this really kicked into high gear. And by the end of the season, I was glad that I watched it. And now I want to watch Rogue One and revisit because it basically was talking about how the characters for Rogue One, got together. And so now, yeah, I'm gonna watch Rogue One, and see if that will mean even more to me because now I know the struggle that they got to get there. But I agree with Sean. It is a different version of the storytelling. It's just like half the time I was bored and half the time I was on the edge of my seat. So. All right. I do recommend it. I do recommend it. And if you just are don't have anything else to watch, I'm talking to you personally, just give it a try in the
Right. And if
background.
it's yeah, I mean, it's not like they're not well made.
Right. Yeah.
And it might, honestly, it may help to binge it.
It did for me. Watching like the through as soon as the 3 episodes were coming out, I was like, oh, I'm just gonna watch one tonight, and I ended up watching all 3. Okay,
Right.
so I got a chance to see A Working Man, which is the new Jason Statham movie. It's the standard, fare of the somebody's wronged and he's gonna save them, and he's, ex-military special whatever, and he basically goes and he shoots everybody up and saves the girl and all that stuff. And I love it. It was fun. It was I was rooting for him. He doesn't have any shirtless scenes, which was, a little sad, but the rest of it was just a really good shoot 'em up action movie, minimal plot, but who cares? It was fun. And so I highly recommend, if you love those kind of movies, if you like the not tracker, but if you like Reacher type things, definitely check this one out. Uh, and then I really didn't watch much else. So watched the Spring Baking Championship, and I'm totally fine with whatever. I kind of expect Priya to win, or yeah, she was still on there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm I mean, she's been the favorite as far
Mhm.
as the way it looks
Uh-huh.
from the beginning. She's been
Uh,
kind of the favorite, and um, so we'll see what happens.
yeah.
It's no men anymore,
Right.
so
Which is very interesting, and I kind of like that. She she kind of plays this kind of ditzy character to herself, but then you can tell when she's like in the thick of trying to get something to work, she's not ditzy at all. She's just very, professional. So anyway, um, so watch that, and then I have been watching the Holiday Baking Championship. And I finished all those seasons. And I swear, even in the final season that I watched it, which was this last year's, I'm still sitting there going, I only remember a couple of you. I don't remember who the hell all these other people are. But yeah, finished that off. It was what it was. And then I just couldn't switch to something else, and I wanted to watch another one, so I started watching the Halloween Baking Championships from the beginning. And the first season was bloody awful. It was the one that was hosted by Richard Blaze. Is that his name? Um,
really,
yeah, and it was only 4 episodes. And the people on it, I mean, the people on it were just fine, but it was much more cutthroat. Like people were like really handing out things to sabotage other people on the show and stuff like that.
right?
So you
I
could,
think they finally have figured out that people like the British Bake Off
hmm.
because they're not mean to each other. There's
Yeah,
and being mean to each other is not particularly it doesn't work.
right, exactly. So when they switched the next season, that's when they had the puppeteer guy on it, and in I remember watching those and being like, I don't really like them. I only like Jesse. And yet now I'm watching it going, oh, he wasn't so bad after all. Maybe after watching Richard Blaze. Yeah. But they're fine. Not hitting my T. And I swear I don't remember hardly any of these contestants. Like on this one, I know I've watched it several times and I don't remember anybody that was on this show. So
That's
anyway,
sad.
yeah. Um, and then I have been playing World of Warcraft again. This has been the week that they have an extra XP buff, so you can level the characters faster. And so I've been reacquainting myself with a few of my older characters and getting them up to the current expansion. Not that I'll probably do anything with it, but it's just fun to watch that XP just go, go, go. So that was fun. And I listened to Little House in the Big Woods, which is the first book in the Laura Ingalls Wilder Little House series. And I have that on Audible and gave that a listen, and it was nice. I Those books are just very sweet, charming, straightforward, and calming. So yeah, there's that. And if you're on Audible, you can also buy pretty much all my books on Audible. Just saying. And that's kind of it. I didn't do much else except work this week. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into advice. I'm a guy in my 40s, and one of my longtime friends has recently gotten into weed. I have zero problem with people who use it. It's just not for me. But he keeps trying to get me to try it like it's some magical cure for everything. I've told him more than once I'm not interested, but he keeps bringing it up constantly. Jokes about how I need to relax and even tries to sneak it into hangouts. It's starting to get on my nerves. I value our friendship, but I need him to respect my boundaries. How can I shut this down once and for all without turning it into a bigger deal than it needs to be?
You
Well, like
just,
Nancy Reagan, just say no.
yeah, I mean, just say you're not interested. I always find that a good deceit, a good lie works here. And
You're
even it,
allergic to weed.
allergic, or you're just, it's just never done anything for me. I've tried it in the past, and
Mm,
or it makes me too paranoid. There's all the good lies. I mean, I've
yeah.
had people for years, pulling the same blah blah blah. Okay, you don't want to do it, that's fine, but you're
Right.
missing out because it's really good. So
Uh-huh.
yeah, it's just one of those things. It's not for everybody, and especially people who are our age, who spent so many years, um when it was illegal, it
Right.
was, and so it's really hard to get people to warm up to things that were once a bad thing.
Yeah, and especially all the lies and everything else we were told about it.
Right.
It's just like that still sticks with some people. It's kind of like with how some people still have a huge issue about like not issue. They still remember the AIDS crisis to the point where having sex without a condom is scary to them. So anyway, all right. Hey Chubbs. Timothy wants to know what's your number one top tip, sorry, for feeling better. Refer to the last question for Tom.
Well, yeah, well, but I think you just, it depends. I mean, this is really an open question.
Hmm.
Um, because sometimes feeling better is just avoiding people that make you feel bad.
Hmm.
Or if you're in a work situation that sucks, get
Hmm.
another job, or figure out how to make this job work better for you. And I mean, it's like I hate using these analogies, but it's like when you're on Survivor
Hmm.
and there's somebody that just drags down everything. And you're like going, well, the thing is, he's on our team, he's in our tribe, and he's really good at everything, and he helps us win. But do I really want to spend the next, you know, 15 days, 24 hours a day with somebody that I want to kill? um and when you're in that kind of situation, sometimes it's better to figure out a way around that, and that's sometimes getting rid of your number one player. And but nobody wants, you shouldn't have to live with a situation that drives you crazy. If it drives you crazy, get out of it.
Yeah. I understand that for sure. Um, for me, the top tip for feeling better is I don't know.
Well, it's like I
I
said,
sometimes it's go ahead.
well, how do you, okay, feeling better.
Well, see, the way I was looking at it is
Yeah,
like
tell me yours.
I have sometimes in the afternoons I go through this weird little depression cycle, and I have to break myself out of that. So I have to do something that is outside of my norm of sitting and looking at reels or doom scrolling or whatever. I have to physically like get up, go to another room, stand in front of a fan, listen to really good upbeat music. You know, different things like that to try to break myself out of that mood so that I can go back to focusing on the things that I need to focus on and want to focus on. But yeah.
Yeah, I would say if I'm really, really stressed about
Hmm.
something, um, it walk away from it.
Mm.
At least for a bit, walk away from it. Um, get yourself something to eat. I know that's a terrible thing, but something we've
Sometimes
done
that
for
helps
years.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But sometimes it's like toss on music that you like.
Hmm.
Sometimes it's like pull out the Christmas albums, and
Oh, yeah.
because I do find that Christmas music really kind of peps me up. It just makes me feel better. It's like a hug.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Okay. Hey, Chubbs, Timothy wants to know, when is it better to walk away than to hold on?
Oh, that's
I mean,
subjective.
that I would have many years back of.
Yeah. Um, I know. It's it's hard, but sometimes I find that um, listening to what your friends are saying sometimes is better
Hmm.
than listening to what your head is or heart is saying. Because
Yeah.
sometimes I mean, we get caught up in our own bullshit, and it's something we really want, but everyone else is going, no, no, it's disaster, it's
Yeah.
disaster. That person is not doing you any good. That situation's not doing you any good,
Hmm.
whether it's you know like with a relationship, whether it's a job, whether it's a commitment that you've made, an investment that you made. Sometimes
Hmm.
listening to your friends, the right friends, um,
Yeah.
they're sitting there and they're telling you, but you're not hearing. Sometimes you have
Right.
to listen.
Yeah. Like, don't marry him. Anyway, let
I was gonna
no, no,
say, I
no.
know who you're. No, I know who
Yeah.
you're talking about. No, I was gonna say he's never going to leave him. So, so
Uh,
save your time.
oh
You
yeah,
know,
that one too. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, but we all have them. We have terrible situations that we've been through, and a lot of times we had people telling us it was a bad situation, and
Hmm.
I've actually lost friends because I didn't listen to the friends
Yeah.
in the situation. So
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Hey, Chubbs, Timothy wants to know, are you set in your ways?
for the most
Yes.
part, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I do. I'm changing all the time,
Hmm.
but am I set in my ways? Hell yeah. It's but that doesn't mean that I can't alter it.
Right.
I'm not that set,
Hmm.
but I mean, shit. I went to Turkey and had you know hair
Yeah.
plugs put in, which
Very out of your comfort
yeah,
range.
that's out of my comfort zone, but it's
Yeah.
something that I did. And I mean, I went to New York knowing that I'm not, my knees are fucked up, and so I go to a city that I have to walk around blocks and blocks and blocks to get to where I want to go, but I did it anyway,
Yeah.
so yeah.
Yeah.
But as far as everything else, yeah, I'm very set in my ways. I like. Uh, isn't it great when you start when you actually sit there and go, people are going, oh no, come on, hang out with us. We're gonna stay up all night, and it's like, well,
Oh
you have
no.
a good time.
Yeah.
Uh, I may stay up all night, but it's not going to be out at a club or at a party somewhere. Because yeah, it's just.
Yeah.
Did I mention that Chubb's Gone Wild is number 31 in the list of top queer podcasts?
Hmm.
31. I was telling somebody that, and
Hmm.
they go, "What?" And I go, "I know, isn't that cool?" And they're going, "31? You're in the top 40 podcasts? There's
Yeah.
hundreds of thousands of podcasts, and a lot of them are gay, and
Yeah.
then they're trying to be funny, and
And we're not even trying, but
yeah, well, and sometimes not funny, but we're hey, we'll take the win anyway. I just want to throw that out
true.
there because it's just I keep forgetting that it's really kind of a I never expected thing
Right. Yeah. Same.
because we're nobodies, but yet they knew who we were.
Right. That's really
Hmm.
cool.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
as far as the Hey Chubbs question, yeah, it's the same for me. I want to say I'm very set in my ways, but for the right person or circumstance or whatever, I can mute. I will be, I can work with it. All right. Hey, I remember my favorite childhood books.
That's a tough one for me because I had two.
Hmm.
It was Charlotte's Web
Oh
and
yeah.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Tho-
Oh
those are
yeah.
my two favorites.
Yeah.
And I guess Charlie and Chocolate Factory, because it went on to become Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, the movie, which is what I had my 12th birthday on.
Mm.
12th birthday party at the old Center One. No, what was it? It was, remember the 1, 2, 3 over at Arden? They had it over there, whatever that theater was.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And
Yeah.
I had it there, and it was very cool,
Hmm.
and I was very excited because I loved the story so much. Even though I would be cast as Augustus Gloop, I always felt like I was Charlie.
Aw. That was the first place that I saw Rocky Horror.
Really?
Yeah. It was right before it kind of started going, like they were starting to get rid of it. And I was like 18, 19. I think I was 19. And I saw it there, and they were doing all the toast and the toilet paper and all that during it. And I just had no clue what the fuck was going on. I'm like, everybody is fucking nuts. But anyway, but I still had a good time. I didn't understand what the hell was going on in the movie, but I still had a good time. So, all right. Okay, my favorite childhood books. I loved the Boxcar Children. I read it many times, much to the dismay of my grandmother, who got mad at me for reading the same book over and over. Um, and there was a pickle chiffon pie, which was a story of this three-headed pickle chiffon pie maker. And the prince took it to the king so that he could win the hand of the daughter, but then realized that the pickle chiffon pie maker had kids and didn't want to take him away. But he won the hand in the end, so it was wonderful. Spoiler alert. And of course, How the Grinch Stole Christmas was another one of my favorites. And yeah, I read a lot. And Snoopy books. I had so many cartoon Snoopy books. I loved them. Okay. What's in your lunchbox? Well, Mr. Moose wrote in and said, back home and trying to eat a little healthier this week. Grilled chicken topped with grilled green peppers and mushrooms. I drowned it in hot sauce for flavor. Side of mashed potatoes and steamed broccoli and cauliflower. Did get some garlic bread.
Looks good,
It really does.
but there's only one picture.
I know.
Ah,
I know. He did try to send the chocolate cake picture again, but again, it had an issue. So,
okay.
yeah. And then Tom, you have some
Well,
photos to talk
well, it
about.
was it was Sean's birthday, so always over McCooney's,
Yeah.
and start off with these are stuffed mushrooms that are deep fried.
Mm.
They've got cream cheese, jalapeno, stuffed in a mushroom, and then battered and deep fried. Fantastic.
Mm.
The next one is the Benjamin roll. Now, the Benjamin roll,
Mhm.
it used to be called All About the Benjamins roll, based on the movie, and it's because they put lots of stuff on this, but it is so with this particular one was so good because it's hit and miss year in and year out because we go on my birthday, his birthday, and on our anniversary, and usually we get to go a second time on when his mom takes us on Sean's birthday. So we're
Huh.
like next week we're going to be going again to
Nice.
McCooney's, which is fine with me. So this one, the Benjamin roll was fantastic.
Mm.
The next one's that's the Incredible roll, and it has lots of fish roe, the salmon roe on it,
Mm.
which I love. I love the little eggs because they get caught in your teeth, and so later on you'll be what's that? And it pops, and it's this little salty pop in your mouth, and so it's always like a nice little extra. And then this is the pepperfin tuna
Mm.
with all the jalapenos, excellent. And then this was tempura, vegetables, and shrimp. And we also got something else. What was it? But we ate it so fast I couldn't get a picture of it.
Huh?
Oh, it was seared tuna, and it comes in two different. You get like a creamy mayonnaise type sauce, and then you get more of a red sriracha sauce,
Uh-huh.
and you can dip it in both or one individual. Anyway, it was really good.
Nice.
And I'll probably have the same pictures next week when his mother takes us.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool. Those are beautiful. Thank you. And thank you, Mr. Moose, for sending those in. All right. See what's in your lunchbox. All the pics that we just talked about at facebook.com/ChubsGoneWild. Find Tom's other podcast at swannerandjudd.com. Find my other projects and books at justkisstheguy.com. Find all our links at allmylinks.com/ChubsGoneWild. And give us an email at
ChubsGoneWild@gmail.com. It's so funny. Last night when I found my pictures, I went, I better send those over. And I just put in CHU and then it spelled it out and I went click, so once you get it into your mail, then it's easy. You can find it right away.
Yeah.
And then if you are watching us on YouTube, like and subscribe, and that way you can also see my hair growing in. So give you a chance to really see. It's finally becoming, the top and the sides are now matched as far as color goes, which I'm interested to find out if I'm going to have any gray hair on the top, because my sides weren't gray except for right here. It's so weird. I've got the gray panel like some kind of gangster from one of those soprano shows that always has the gray wings right on the side. And so I have it on the one side, but the rest they didn't take from that. So I'm wondering if I'm going to have dark hair again. So we'll see what happens there. And that's something to watch. And right now I just look like I'm auditioning for Lex Luthor. So
at least you don't look like you're auditioning for Uncle Fester.
Oh yeah, that's the one too.
Well,
oh wow.
Yeah, but you got your beard and stuff. So
I could totally shave that and be Uncle Fester in a second.
That's true.
So
Scott's the satyr. He played Uncle Fester.
Yes, he did, and he shaved his head for it.
Yeah,
and I'll tell you why that's important. I saw a version where they put a bald cap on the guy.
Oh,
and after the first scene, it was already coming off on the sides.
Yeah,
and it was flaring, and it's like, when you're playing Uncle Fester, make the commitment and just shave your head. I mean, granted, it's going to take a month or two before you don't look like Uncle Fester after you're done with the show. But I can't even imagine a bald cap, because you can't move in one without it coming off. And so you've got to, shave the head.
I remember when we were doing Cinderella and we had to wear those awful rubber wig things.
Yeah.
And that's not even a bald cap, and it was still annoying.
Yeah, but at least it was skin tight. It wasn't going to be flaring up like the ones that I've seen before. But yeah, I was always really proud of his commitment for that, because you should. Yeah, it's just easier.
Right. Yeah. Speaking of your one spot on your side, I'm getting these white places in my beard.
Yeah.
I just have this one long streak that looks like I dripped down my beard.
I know it's horrible when it doesn't. Oh, come on, if you're going to do it, at least do it correct. You're telling your body this, because it's not you that's doing it. It's just like, come on, symmetric. Make it symmetric so it doesn't look dumb.
Yeah, exactly. So. All right. Well, thank you all so much for tuning in. We are glad to be with you, and we will catch you next week. All right.
Love ya.
A network of inclusion.
UnivazPods.net.
This show is part of the Pride 48 network.
This has been a For Fuck's Sake production.